Hello, Capricorn. My name is Kristen Simone Hansen, and welcome to Secrets. Alright, so Capricorn, let's get into this. This video is the using video. The big topic that is tied to Capricorn energy in general, which is the phrase I use. And we discussed this on our Instagram, and you guys put in a lot of feedback about wanting to see this video and wanting to get my perspective on it. So let's dive into it. Why is it that the phrase I use is connected to Capricorn? Well, because Capricorn understands the ability to take something and how to make it useful, how to find use in things, how to see value in that which does not seem valuable. One of the things tied to this is, again, Capricorn being an earth sign, being the exalted earth sign. The merger of the water with the earth makes it so that Capricorn has a vast imagination. With that being said, that's a part of why Capricorn tends to be drawn to the potential in things. And with being drawn to the potential in things, that means that Capricorn can take that which is not what it is and create something different out of it. The magician. So if you know many Capricorns, you have, especially as this Pluto transit has been moving through them for 15 years, they are not the same people that you knew when they were much younger, or 15 years ago, or 20 years ago, etc. Capricorn goes through a lot of change and a lot of transformation throughout their life because they are climbing up the mountain, which is a representation of going from the fallen or hell, etc., into heaven or the top of the peak. The journey of Capricorn is from hell to heaven, which is why the placement that comes after Capricorn is Aqua, which is the outer worldly experience, the water bearer. Through Capricorn, there's a merger of earth with water, being in that intersectional space, navigating the earth, navigating the world, being able to create that which the world needs. That's why it's 10th house. Capricorn is focused on how is it that it can serve the world by paying attention to the darker sides of things, or where there are negatives in situations where things are voided. Capricorn creates solutions, which is why Capricorn is so good with business, because the idea of being able to find a niche where there is a space that is not being filled, or there's a certain kind of music, or there's a certain product, etc., that needs the world, or the world needs but doesn't know it needs, and Capricorn has to look through the negative lens, being a yin sign, being a feminine sign, identifies the negative, which is the void, and then creates the solution for that void, which is a part of the reason why Capricorn tends to deal with difficulty, because it has to be aware of that which does not exist in order to create the solution for it. And I'm trying to dive a little bit deeper into the details and before we get to the I use. About Capricorn's journey in general. And yes, and as Capricorn continues to transform and to grow and to change, they go from the fallen angel into the top of the peak. And that is the experience of Capricorn, releasing the ego. What does it mean to be restricted? What does it mean to be up against obstacles and to prevail through those obstacles, to deal with Saturn, or Daddy Saturn, and the discipline, and through that discipline, how it creates this optimum being, this person who from very young age usually is born into a situation that does not serve them, limits them, or restricts them in some kind of way, and they continue to venture out, think further, expand further, leave humble beginnings. that is Capricorn energy. It's always on a journey for more. And that's because it's constantly aware of the fact that it is at the bottom. It needs to go to the top of that mountain from the hell experience into the heaven experience. And Capricorn represents the journey of enlightenment. So throughout the zodiac is a representation of the human experience. When you are born, you are in Aries, you are a toddler, you are young, you are full of fire, you are full of energy, me first, etc. When you get down into Capricorn in the 10th house, it's all about the journey of enlightenment. When the human, after moving through Sagittarius, which was expanding on the world, understanding the world outside of the interpersonal relationships that you saw in Scorpio in the 8th house, Sagittarius says, okay, I understand marriage, I understand the deeper side of the human relationships, I want to understand the world, I want to expand more, I want to explore more, and then understand freedom. And then Capricorn comes in and says, okay, I am Sagittarius, I have learned the world, I have educated myself, I am full of knowledge, I am full of expanded thinking. Now I need to apply these things into the world in order to create a service, in order to build a castle, in order to create the structure that the world needs, which is very beautiful. And for example, in ancient Sumeria, Capricorn was known as a water creature that would then go on to land. The mythological narrative is a water creature that would go onto land and serve the earth during the day and then go back into water at night. So all throughout variations of astrology, Capricorn tends to often be tied to water. The only time it was not was when it was directly Pan, which was in Roman times. But then they ended up expanding on the story and turning it into a sea goat anyway. But it's all about understanding the balance between those two elements. Compassion, even though Capricorn tends to run into issues with their emotions, the journey of Capricorn is to understand the emotions so well that it can become the water bearer. Aquarius is known for being very cold, being very calculated, can kind of be emotionless, but they are good at giving water. So the dark side of Aquarius is notorious for faking nurturing or friendship or humanitarianism. But the pro of that is the fact that in order to create the solutions for what the world needs, which is big for Capricorn and Aquarius, you have to be able to control your emotions. You have to be able to move from a space of logic and reason. Aquarius, definitely stoicism, in order to create the solutions that people need. If you're too caught up in your emotions, then you cannot be a great leader or benefit to the world. And that is one of the journeys that Capricorn goes through, being so sensitive and so deep, but learning how to navigate those emotions into a space of personal power, which is why Capricorn performers are so passionate, why if you know any Capricorns, their love is so deep and so intense, and the way they can channel that emotional energy into intensity is a part of their journey, which is lovely. So with all that being said, now let's get into the viewpoint of use. So because that is Capricorn's journey, they are made to look at the world and see all of the things about it that are useful. How to squeeze a dollar out of 15 cents, how to, being the architect, being the builder, Capricorn and the number 4 are not directly related. But if you go into numerology, the number 4 is probably the exact archetype that is similar to Capricorn energy, and that it is the number of the builder, the architect, the creator, and that is Capricorn. So in order to see what it is that something can become, it has to see how it is useful. So if you see a barren land, Capricorn's mind is going to think this can be a space for a home, this can become a library. The builder, the architect creates something out of nothing. So that is where it has to understand what is useful in different things and or people in order to expand on them. Now, the dark side of Capricorn can be a user because they can see what is valuable in other people. They can see what is valuable in someone's potential and who it is that they can be and where it is that they can go, or they can see how someone can be useful to them in a moment. When a dark side of Capricorn uses you, it is absolutely terrible. But of course, they are not the only users of the zodiac. I think everyone as a human being can do this. But if you wanted to just speak strictly for astrology, I would say that Capricorn particularly masculine Capricorn, Leo, both the feminine and the masculine, um, Libra, and Taurus. Taurus are some of the more dominant signs in terms of this narrative, and that idea of seeing someone in terms of what it is that they can give to you. So with that being said, yes, the dark-sided Capricorn can be a user in that they can seem like they only see value in people based on how that person can benefit them. And then because of their ability to emotionally control themselves, they're not actually disconnecting, they're just making it seem like they're disconnecting. It can feel like they discard that which is no longer useful. Now, when we're talking about light-sided Capricorn energy, it's actually the exact opposite. So, and I will use an example when talking about someone like Leo. So when dealing with someone like Leo, Leo tends to be used for their light, their warmth, the way in which they can shine light on someone, bring out their star quality, bring out the things that make them the center of attention. Notoriously, people can see Leos based on what it is that they can gain from them in terms of their own notoriety or a sense of self-confidence. However, on the other side, yes, a dark-sided Leo can use someone else for that very reason, but the same way how the energy itself represents Leo, Leo can also be used for the very same reason. And a lot of light-sided Leos tend to be used for the very thing that they are can find useful in others. And the same thing goes with Capricorn. So one of the harshest things I would say when it comes to Capricorn's interpersonal relationships and or love life is the fact that Capricorn can literally be the kind of person, one of the only sign energies that can attract people that are only interested in how they can gain from them. Whereas the other signs, I would say usually there's some kind of intersectional space, but with Capricorn in particular, people really and truly can just value you strictly on what it is that you can give to them. So your assets, your status, your finances, your image, especially if you are an attractive Capricorn, that devil energy can be the reason why people only desire to have a fetish, kind of dark-sided sexual relationship with you and literally use you up and then discard you completely. Throughout this video, I'm going to be posting some pictures of various Capricorns that represent this. One of the things that I noticed when diving into how do you say, like crime documentaries, and why I did that was to learn from them, the expansion of human nature, etc. But one of the biggest things that I noticed in terms of patterns is some of the most notorious crimes were committed onto Capricorns, and mostly Capricorn feminines, but again, feminine is not male nor female, but I've noticed it was mostly Capricorn feminines. And what did you see? You saw these horrendous things being done to these Capricorn energies, and how people did not stop themselves. It's like different situations where it just felt like that is cruel, that is inhumane, like this person is continuing torture. Torture tends to be one of the things that Capricorn can attract. Ongoing abuse, ongoing using, like getting to a point where a person can literally let out all of their dark side onto your energy and really have no real regard and or true love for you at all, and really just was with you for what it is that they can gain from you, and then often grew to resent you because of your inability to not give everything to them. The feeling that oftentimes the people that use Capricorn tend to grow bitter because they feel like as much as they've taken from Capricorn, there's more to be taken. And when you look at these crimes, you see the same thing where this for example, the case where the child was being tortured, you look at this and you think to yourself, why didn't this woman stop? Or why didn't these people stop? She was already so defeated. But it's almost like an energy of just the fact that she's still, Capricorn can come off so strong and you guys can come off so undefeatable that and really what you're doing is you're just trying to kind of keep yourself together. You're just trying to keep some kind of control. That way that you are can make it so that people just keep going. So they want to hit you more, they want to hurt you more, they want to take more from you. It seems like there's something about you that can just keep taking it. That seems like no matter how much a person tries to degrade you or bully you or harm you or torture you, etc., use you, that you just, it seems like there's just more to give. Many of you have been in situations where you might have been in financial scarcity, and yet and still, although the people have seen you in this low state, they still felt like there was more to be taken. Like as if all of this, or social situations where you could have been dramatized, as in gossip, bullying, etc. Some of the most horrible things tend to happen to Capricorns. And people will just keep going. It's as if person after person, everyone joins in and keeps taking from the Capricorn, taking from them, and treating them a certain way. And it seems very torturous, and it seems very confusing as to why this will happen. And for many of you guys, through this Pluto transit, you have been at various points in your life in different ways. Some of you, it could have been love, some of you, it could have been family, some of them money, whatever it may be. But at some point in your life, you felt like you've hit a low. But you guys, out of everyone else, you at your lowest tends to still trigger other people, because there is something about you that still remains dignified or still remains together. Something about you that still seems like you have, again, more to give. Even though you yourself don't see it that way, you just feel like you're trying to kind of keep it together. Other people perceive you that way. And then when you want to talk about users who are ultimately bullies, they want whatever it is that they can have from you. And you guys have that, again, that Capricorn energy, that there's something about you that no matter what it is that you literally have, there's something about you that comes off authoritative, it comes off maybe wealthy, intelligent, whatever it is, naturally creative. A lot of you guys are full of authenticity and natural talent. There's something about you that people tend to feel like there's something here that I need to take. This person is full of things that I want and need. And whereas most of the time with you guys, as I said, you're not always aware of what it is that you have. And dark-sided Capricorns who are users are the most unaware of what it is that they have themselves, and tends to feel like they need other people in order to have things. But even when a Capricorn is a user themselves, they're never tied up with someone who isn't also interested in using them as well. But it's always this dynamic, because usually what will happen is that person is drawn to the Capricorn because of some kind of status. But nonetheless, there's something about your energy that just feels like you're not showing all of your cards, or you're not giving everything. There's no matter how much this person may have stolen from you, they still feel like there's something hidden somewhere. There's some money somewhere. There's some love somewhere. There's some fetish somewhere. There's something else that can be taken. And it's just an energy that you guys kind of give off of just this resilience. But really it's kind of that merger of the creative force that is very organic in you guys. So, and it ends up creating resilience. What the zodiac calls is, Capricorns are strong and resilient. It's really just because you always have this ongoing ability to create or to generate. So even at your lowest, you can still come up with some kind of idea to get yourself out of it, or you can still find something to smile about, or some kind of strength, even when you feel like all has been taken from you. And this can be very triggering for people who are users, because ultimately they desired you to take everything that they could from you, and they want to see you down. Because usually what will happen is it's derived from some kind of envy or jealousy. It's like, yes, they might desire you to take from you, but they also envy you at the same time, because you guys have a thing that just comes from within. It's just Capricorn energy. Whatever it is that you have is within. So it's an originality or an authenticity, a sense of self, a way of being that just cannot, it's not something that can be externalized. It's just something that is natural within you. And that is very triggering. That's earth sign energy in general. All of the earth signs, because they are signs of substance, originality is something that's just organic for earth energy. It just is. If Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the signs of substance, it's just the way that it is. So when you have strong Capricorn placements, you always kind of give off that energy. And again, it's in a beautiful way. It's creative, and it is something that is very sacred and very interesting and very intriguing. But it's also something that, again, when you're looking at people that want to take something from you, that envy you just for your character or just for your ability to survive the things that they have done from you, or all of the things done to you, or your ability to bounce back from all the things that they try to take from you, understand that it's coming from the desire to defeat you, because your energy can be triggering and it can be intimidating, because it just feels like you always have something to give, or you always have something in you that can't be stomped out. Even if you feel completely defeated, you're not necessarily giving that energy off. So I hope this explains things a little bit. I don't know what details you guys wanted exactly when it comes to the using video, but I wanted to kind of clarify on a more intellectual level, like why these things tend to happen, or the dynamics that play out. I will say though, when it comes to healing this energy, it's all about self-worth and self-value. So for many of you guys, it has felt like maybe you're a magnet for that kind of energy, especially going through all the shadow work that you've had to go through when it comes to your relationships and your connections. And the biggest way to heal that, especially after this Taurus eclipse, is to understand your self-worth. So the part of the reason why you guys can be magnets for that kind of energy, especially romantically, is because you can tend to tie yourself up with people that don't have much of anything themselves outside of potential. And because you think that you are the same, and you tend to come from a space of insecurity against scarcity, you draw in people that realize what you have and realize who you are and your value, but they tend to have more resources than you, or they tend to have more fire than you, or whatever it may be, more of a taker energy. And because you guys are dealing with so much insecurity, usually because of whatever it is that you may be battling, or whatever it is that you're going through, again, your journey is so difficult. When you reach each level, you're surrounded by people whose journeys weren't as difficult. They're not coming from such a huge gap, I guess. So you tend to not realize your worth or your value, and it's very clear because of the kind of people that you tend to give the time of day to, especially during the Pluto transit in from 2000, and I can't remember the year, honestly. I want to say it may have been 2009. I don't know, but there was a, up until about last year, there was a Neptune transit before the Pisces Saturn transit. There was a Neptune transit that basically blurred the boundaries of your social connections for you guys, which is a part of the Pisces transit being the healing point, which is you guys getting so discriminating in terms of who you have around you, and not letting toxic people stay and feed off your energy. But with that being said, those lines were blurred so that you can change and transform through understanding what you don't want, and now having zero tolerance for things that do not serve. But again, through insecurity, you guys don't know your worth or your value, or you don't think that you can get what it is that you truly desire. So you tend to be magnets for people that see who you are very clearly, but you can't see yourself, and they want to take everything from you just due to being able to see you, knowing that you're dealing with some kind of insecurity or lack of self-worthiness. If anybody has ever seen The Craft, I would say that's kind of a great example. That character, the Earth Witch, I would say she's kind of a great example of Capricorn energy, which is like she has these natural talents or these natural abilities, but she doesn't have any self-security because she's been through so much trauma that she can't back herself up in terms of her own confidence. And then they really just allowed her into the coven to use her for her natural abilities, and then, you know, just attacked her completely in order to try to take that natural talent that it is that she has, and that tends to happen to you guys a lot. So you heal when you understand your worth, you stand up straight, you know your value, you sit in that space of authority, you have your boundaries, and you don't let everyone into your energy, because you understand that your energy is sacred, that what you have is lovely, and it's talent, and you are great as you are, and you deserve to sit in that position that you're sitting in, and you are not less than. It is okay to be different, it is okay to be unique, it is okay to be the other. Through Aquarius, you can learn the value of that because Aquarius's ego lies within their uniqueness. And so through that energy on the other side of Saturn, you can learn to understand the value of what it means to be the unique sea goat that you are, the person that tends to stand out in a room that can be a magnet for negative energy because you're not doing it with so much confidence. A lot of the time because you're afraid of war, you're afraid of retaliation. Don't be. Stand in your personal energy, stand in your personal power, stand in your confidence, and you will find the solution to all of these issues when it comes to attracting people who only desire to use you like a tool. Okay, so I love you guys, and I hope this helps with what it is that you need. And if you need anything else, or you guys want to explore more ideas on this topic, go into the comment section, expand. You guys know that I like to respond, so talk to me, tell me how you're feeling, and let's kind of heal this wound with whoever it is that is dealing with this wound, and we can talk and connect. Okay, so I love you guys. Ciao.